I know a little bit about it. I don't know really much about it. I know that a group of people, they just collect and they demand on.
I heard it was grand and they juror there.
It's composed of people all across the county who are selected. I believe they're nominated by leaders within their community to be a part of the grand jury and kind of be a watchdog, overseer for different schools and community entities.
And city offices.
And city offices.
Anything to do with the county.
Anything that seems to be amiss or anything that needs to be investigated. I believe they've even done trials.
Or improved. Yes, they've done, Solano Grand Jury did a trial for our school, actually.
And they're they serve a 2 or 3 year term. I'm not sure. They seem like amazing. It seems like amazing amount of effort on the part of and it's volunteer work. I'm pretty impressed with the people who say yes to that.
And I'm impressed they have enough that it should get a good diversity of who's out there watching over us.
Hello, I'm Harry Price, Mayor City of Fairfield, and I want to talk to you today about a very important governmental function that all too often is either misunderstood or not appreciated at all, and that's the California grand jury system. The grand jury system exists because in a democracy such as ours, it is absolutely essential that citizens exercise their democratic rights to be represented, as well as to take a close look at how government functions.
Hi, my name is Judy Kelpo, and I live in Rio Vista, which is part of Solano County. Therefore, I belong to Solano County Grand Jury. In fact, this is the end of my 6th term.
Hello, my name is Jim Pucci, and I live in Benicia, California, and I'm a member of the Solano County Grand Jury this session.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Mangado. I'm on the Solano County Grand Jury.
When I first got on the grand jury, it wasn't a volunteer organization at that time. You were nominated by a city official.
I have about 14 years experience in law enforcement and 20 years experience in the private sector, which I was a vice president dealing with government relations and various things. I have a graduate degree in public administration, so I thought that I knew everything there was about government. Served on a commission with the city of Benicia, and because I was faced with a immediate retirement, I needed something to do, and somebody suggested you should look into the grand jury.
I came to grand jury because one of my neighbors had been on the grand jury, and she thought I would enjoy it. I'm a retired person from the Oakland Unified School District.
I think the grand jury for me personally has been a real learning experience. If you're interested in how your city or county is operated, who's running it, it's a sure way to find out. If you think something's taking an awful long time to happen in your own town, you find out the steps that are necessary to make anything happen.
Thinking that I knew a lot about government, which I did not, and the grand jury taught me that lesson. And I was able to see everything that the grand jury had accomplished in a short period of 6 months when I came on, and I was absolutely amazed at the various projects that the grand jury had involved itself in.
I think grand jury duty is just great. So if you have an opportunity, please do sign up for it. Thank you.
Anybody with time in their hands, I would encourage you to join the grand jury. You'll find it very satisfactory, rewarding. You will have put your idle hours to some good use, and the end result could end up being you save the county or your city some money.
Hopefully I can serve another term of a year, because I feel this is just a tremendous opportunity for the average ordinary tax-paying citizen to really see how the government runs and to really have an opportunity to make a difference from grassroots on up. So thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Gary Walker from Fairfield, California, and The grand jury is the purest form of democracy I think that you'll ever find. It's an ability for an average citizen to view and discover and recommend to the presiding judge changes to the local government. You have an opportunity at any age to get on the grand jury. It will help you discover how government works. And through that process, you can make recommendations that will change the process and make it more efficient. If you have the opportunity, I would suggest very strongly to volunteer and get on the grand jury and really discover how local government works. Thanks.
The grand jury system is just like any other right that we as Americans enjoy. The first one, of course, is the right to vote. And if you are nominated and then selected to serve on the grand jury, you're going to have an awesome responsibility. Your task is to take a look at how government functions, whether it's a fire district, a city council, a board of supervisors, or any other special district that relies upon fees and taxes imposed by a governmental body. The grand jury system functions only if people are willing to participate, if they're willing to spend the time necessary to understand the proper role of each agency. To that extent, then, it seems to me that citizens ought to be eager to serve, just as when you are called for grand jury in a civil case or a criminal case, your responsibility is to listen, to study, to weigh the evidence, and then to render a verdict.
Hello, my name is Don King. I'm a former Solano County Grand Juror, having served one term as a regular juror and then a second term as foreman of the grand jury. I have thoroughly enjoyed my service on the grand jury. During my terms, I learned a great deal about local government functions and operations. I want to share with you briefly the role of the foreperson in grand jury operations. As you know, the grand jury consists of 19 members, including the foreperson. The foreperson is appointed by the presiding judge of the Superior Court and is normally a carryover juror from the prior year. The foreperson is generally a coordinator of the activities of the jury. He or she presides over the regular grand jury meetings, assigns jury members to serve on the various subcommittees, and manages the grand jury budget. The foreperson has no unilateral power or authority over the grand jury. The jury as a body has the authority to make all decisions regarding rules of proceeding and all publications. The foreperson is obliged to preside according to the grand jury's approved rules of proceeding. In addition, the foreperson, with concurrence of the entire jury body, performs duties such as scheduling of training. The incoming grand jury early in the term all receive training in grand jury issues such as investigations, legal issues, and report writing, etc. The foreperson receives citizen complaints, reviews them with the entire jury, and assigns the complaint to the appropriate subcommittee for action.
Hi, I'm Brian Taylor, Court Executive Officer for the Superior Court of Solano County. Each year, the Solano Superior Court recruits for a civil grand jury. The term of the grand jury is from July 1 to June 30th of the following year. The grand jury is part of the judicial branch of government and is an arm of the court. The application process is open all year, and you may obtain an application on the court's website or by contacting the Solano County Grand Jury office at the courthouse. Pursuant to statute, there are a number of requirements you must meet in order to qualify for the selection process. You must be a resident of the county for 1 year. You must be a United States citizen, and you must be at least 18 years old or older. You must be in possession of your natural faculties or ordinary intelligence and sound judgment and fair character. You must possess sufficient knowledge of the English language. You must attend an interview, which is generally conducted at the courthouse with the presiding judge, the foreperson of the grand jury, and me. At the impanelment ceremony, there is a random drawing of all of those who are deemed qualified. The grand jury consists of 19 individuals, and the court generally draws the names of up to 5 alternates. The time commitment for the grand jury is generally 15 to 20 hours per week for the entire year. This is a great way to serve your community, and I encourage those that have the available time to submit an application. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Solano County Sheriff Gary Stanton. I'd like to spend a little bit of time this morning talking about the grand jury and our relationship with the grand jury. I have worked with the grand jury for the 11 years that I've been sheriff, and prior to being sheriff, I worked with the grand jury as the undersheriff. I have found that working with the grand jury can be very beneficial to my operations. The grand jury has a very important role in our government organization. All of us are funded with taxpayer money, and we as department heads, as elected officials, have an obligation to use that public money effectively and efficiently. The grand jury is an important piece of that check and balance process. Often we are too close to issues and we may not see that there's a problem. It is good to have someone from the outside, like the grand jury, to come into your organization, take a look, and give you a good, honest evaluation of what they see. That allows me as a department head to make those corrections so that I'm running efficiently and effectively. So in that respect, I appreciate the work of the grand jury. I encourage all of you to work with the grand jury. I can't think of a single time when my work with the grand jury has not been beneficial to me and my department.
In the case of someone who is nominated by a mayor, a city councilman, or any other person to serve on the grand jury, the role changes significantly. It changes in the sense that you must exercise your right to examine very carefully all of those records that relate to a particular agency. For example, in the city of Fairfield, our fire department was investigated by the grand jury, not for wrongdoing necessarily, but for some discrepancies that were studied, evaluated, and then corrected. So, if you are eager to represent your country and eager to exercise your democratic rights, do not shun the opportunity to serve in an appointed position that may last for 1 year or 2 years. And I would urge you, study all the issues, become informed, and then be able to render an opinion that is supported by the court system.
Hello, my name is Paul Beeman. I'm a Superior Court judge here in Solano County. Currently, I'm sitting as the presiding judge in our county. That means for all of 2012 and 2013. In that capacity, I serve as a special advisor to our civil grand jury. Now, the grand jury itself is established by the California State Constitution. The county, the court, are required by the Constitution to maintain a civil grand jury at all times. Unlike a jury trial in an individual case, this grand jury exists for 12 months at a time. The members of the grand jury frequently serve more than one term. The law allows for them to do that. The primary function of grand juries is to investigate citizens' complaints about public agencies and public officials, as well as to look in and provide citizen oversight on local government and its efficiencies or the lack thereof. The grand jury is authorized by law to examine all aspects of county government, city governments, school districts, any special districts that exist within this county. The grand jury has the authority to review and evaluate all procedures and systems within each governmental entity, and that's for the purpose of making sure that they are being operated efficiently and as economically as possible. The civil grand jury is an extremely valuable tool in our system of government. It is often a very rewarding experience to the people that work within it, the members of the grand jury. And for that reason, I encourage you to think about, seriously, applying for and becoming a member of our grand jury and serving on it. I feel strongly that you would enjoy that very much. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Wanda Kiger Tucker, President of the Solano County Chapter of the California Grand Jurors Association, otherwise known as CGJA. Our statewide organization is composed of former grand jurors who annually provide training and orientation for current jurors. In addition, we serve as an educational arm of the CGJA. Many California counties have local chapters of ex-grand jurors who wish to be active in civic affairs, including educating our community about the functions of grand juries. This video presentation has been funded and sponsored by your Solano County CGJA chapter, and want to thank everyone who participated in making it happen. We give special thanks to the Buckingham Charter School Media Arts Department, and we deeply appreciate their expertise and dedication to the production of this video. We hope it has been informative, and we encourage you to consider volunteering some of your time to serve as a grand juror in our county. It will certainly be an enlightening and enjoyable experience, as well as doing a great service for our community. For more information on how to become a juror, please contact the clerk of the court. Thank you for your attention and consideration.